the right through their think tanks, people like Charlie Kirk, I mean, like manufactured in a fucking lab, came in and saw what would be divisive, and they just focused in on that, lasered in on that, and then it's that self-fulfilling circuit or whatever. I was trying to sound smart there, it didn't come out. But it's like that thing of like, then what gets rewarded? Well, if you talk about this topic, you're going to now get in an argument, and you're going to now get invited on this show, or you're now going to be, your YouTube video will pop up.
Well, they're good at picking the fights they want to have.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, that's why it's so interesting seeing how they're trying to handle Gary at the moment.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating because they've spent the last 10 years trying to like court the white working class. They went from the 2000s where the white working class was the scum of the fucking earth.
Chavs. You called them chavs.
Yeah. They went from doing that in the 2000s. Now they're the victims of multiculturalism. They're the left behind, they're the forgotten.
The same fucking journalists, who called them chavs, and there was one guy called James Delingpole who called them lard-gutted slappers, then about 10 years later was like, isn't it terrible the white working class has been left behind? The same fucking people.
It's so visible. This is what pisses me off about conspiracy theories, man. It's like there's so much obvious, real, provable conspiracy that you could look at. You'd be like, that is fuck. And then they're focusing on, my mate told me that viruses don't exist the other day. I'm like, bruv, please. Like,
viruses.
He doesn't believe in viruses. I'm sorry, I don't even want to perpetuate that message because it's insanity. But anyway, he told me that, and I was like, oh, I didn't want to engage in the debate. I was like, mate, just look into this. Look into like, I don't know, think tanks. It's interesting at least, right? That billionaires seem to really like. I was like, look into that. But anyway, yeah, that's insane. But I think where were we just a second ago?
We're just talking about the white working class and Gary's economics and...
Yeah, so they've just spent the last 10, and I'm doing a little video on this at the moment, that's what's on my mind. But they've just spent the last 10 or so years, they went from like, someone said it really well. They said, it ends with lionize. What's the other one? So it was like, they went from like ostracizing them to like lionizing the white working class now. And that's a problem because it's a kink in the armor. Because when Gary comes along, they can't do the class thing on him anymore. And they try to, and they get pushed back. If you see him on Twitter, they start like, I've seen it a few times where they'll take clips or not even clips, they'll like take a picture of Gary and then they'll write his argument really dumb English.
Yeah.
And like, read the fucking rule. Like, as advice to the right, I don't know if I should give him that. Don't do that. Because if you're trying to fucking keep the white working class and now you're like insulting them, you're fucking yourselves over. Like your base, you're now insulting your base. And I think that's a problem for them because he talks to that. He is what they're trying to lionize and make the victim. And he's saying, actually, no, it's not the migrants, it's the billionaires. Like, and that's a real kink in the armor for them because either they go down the whole route and they can't even like, it's a real struggle for them because he's a trader. They can't criticize his job because they love traders.
And he's got the insider knowledge, right? So it's not he's coming at it from, well, I read about it in a book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like he has the credentials. Also, trading, it's like the banking sector. They're fine with that. They're not against the banking sector. So they can't say, oh, he's like a liberal arts student, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, he's one of us. But he's actually not one of us because he's like a working class person. And we can't insult them anymore because we need them on our side right now because we need to say it's the migrants' fault. And yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing that like chink in the armor that they have at the moment. And
well,
that's
the attack line is he's not as successful a trader as he says he was.
And I don't think people will give a shit about that.